Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. Well, no one's in here probably yet, but those of you in the future, welcome. I am back to working on this illustration from the last stream, but I noticed there's some issues with the face that I wanted to resolve. I want it to be bold, like this illustration by, looks like by Kiki on Pinterest. I think it's really easy. I get bogged into details a lot. I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? So I'm going to start off here by just sketching the eyes, I think, and then I'm still not entirely sure. I think I want the eyes to be looking over here. No, I still want them over here. It's just, I could focus on the story element, but what I actually want to focus on is just what looks really good from a distance, which is why it's a really good idea sometimes to just pull up this reference panel right here and then just have it to where you can see the whole thing at once. Because when you're working on a small display like this, it's just always good to have, because you're going to need to zoom in. You know, you can't always just avoid that and work perfectly zoomed out all the time. All right. So from here, what I'm actually going to do, download this and save it. Let's just save it there. Whoa. Oh, that was an ad. Okay. It's like, what the heck? This is my Christian stream here. Come on now. All right. Let me see. I want to get one of the older versions of this sketch pulled up so that I can fix these. You know what, let's just try it here. Let's try and just fix the proportions here. It's a bit awkward. So I always look at the ear and the location of it to line up with the eyes. And the eyes, usually you want them at the middle, in the middle of the head. And these are kind of sitting like a little bit high, but that's okay because her mouth is open, so the chin would be lower. But we're looking at her from below like this. And her face is kind of like, it's, if I were to draw a straight line from the corners of the eyes, that's fine, but then that would mean that the face needs to be a perpendicular, what is this shape called? Trapezoid down, and it's tilted this way instead. So I either need to change where the mouth is or the eyes. And I'm feeling like the eyes would be easier to do. Which gives us this. Which makes it so that the ear should really be like right here. would be better off like that. That is quite a bit to change. But let's see. Hey, what's up, Bloodness? YouTube? Yeah. I'm not gonna be streaming on Twitch for the foreseeable future. For a few reasons, but one of them is really just pretty technical. Yeah, but then see, at this point, now she looks a bit too childish because her eyes, like the distance between the eyes and the nose is an easy way to influence the age of a character. The younger they are, the shorter that distance will be. So if I bring it up, it's looking fine. Here. Give plenty of space for the jaw and the cheek. How you guys doing? My control in Procreate? Oh really? You can't control the brushes. You draw better in Infinite Painter, Procreate. It's OS. Yeah, it is really nice. It takes some time though. Like I had to slave over these custom brushes, tweak the pen pressure, like for this brush in particular. What? I thought I just changed this one. Was it? What the heck? I think it was for this one. Yeah, like I had to tweak it to where I could make thin strokes without having to put too much pressure. You know, sometimes all sorts of little things like that are necessary. And then on top of all that, you got to get used to it. So I recommend, if you're struggling with something, as tempting as it is, try your best to stick to one app, because a lot of how you develop is just getting used to a particular software and how it feels in a way that is like muscle memory. Like anyone who gets an iPad for the first time, it's going to be a bit difficult because you're not used to it. Yeah, to me this looks more, I don't know, that has more of a style to it. That's weird. Let's get rid of these lines. Oh, I know why. Yeah, when you want it to be bold, you kind of have to be cartoony a bit. Like all those extra details are getting in the way of her, like, so super ID gaff look. What's up, Samuel? Have I drawn any men? Oh yeah. I'll show you last, like before this stream, like yesterday, I think. Which, let me see if you guys can recognize this person. He's not necessarily famous, but he's on a very viral video. This guy I drew yesterday. This version of him looks the most like him a little bit in the early sketch. Then I kind of like gave him a little bit of anime treatment here. Gave him a little, what is it called? Bishi Shujo or something? Just really accentuating all of those semi-feminine attractive looks or features in there. But this is the guy on that one viral video of these two guys laughing at an interview with one of the actresses from the Fantastic Four movie. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I've been drawing guys a lot more often. You know, instead of once a year, it's like a few times a year now. But I'm doing well, Samuel. Thanks for asking. How about you? Oh, thanks, Art Girl. Purchase all my brushes. Oh, thanks, Art Life. Hey, Carl. Okay, I'm liking this. Am I recording? iPad? No. My iPad battery has been getting low, man. I really want to get a new one, but absolutely not. Can't afford it just yet. Yeah, I think the problem here is that I changed the angle of some parts of this without actually changing everything else in order to align with it. So I just wanted to get some of these, instead of all the lines being super gestural like this, I wanted to just get them to be a bit clearer. Yeah, like both of these look fine to me, but anime? Oh yeah. I've been catching up though. I've been behind. I just caught up with the Demon Slayer movie and the Reze arc of Chainsaw Man. And then I caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen. Does Invincible count? That's the most recent anime I've watched. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to get the details for this right, because it's like a cloth, but it isn't a cloth. Exhausted from the whole week, I feel you. Happy Friday, everyone, by the way. I'm getting some ideas from this. Debating on making it more mechanical. I just want to do something simple. It's not too complicated. Hey, what's up, Antarius? Trying to get better. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Good luck. It's one of the best things that I can hear is when people feel encouraged to practice after watching the stream. Let's see. Simple design here. I think I got some tech gear stuff to reference. I don't usually draw this kind of stuff, so it's a bit challenging for me to come up with it. I'm just gonna work on one side. Resident Demon Slayer Both have high quality, yeah, super high quality. I wonder if I did something like that. You don't want to do too many lines when it comes to wrinkles and stuff. You want to use shadows and things like that. Oh yeah, that one looks good. It doesn't have to be that realistic. We can just have the cloth floating up like that if we want. And I think instead of doing that type of a screen, I'm looking at a reference where it's more like a screen like this that kind of functions as a biomonitor. One sec, I'm changing my playlist that I'm listening to. Gigantic iPad. Reports suggest that Apple is developing a foldable iPad with a massive 18-inch screen meant to leverage new multitasking features in iPadOS 26. Well, that sounds cool. I'm just taking my time here to design it well. And it's really hard to resist not rushing this, guys. You have no idea. Where did you find those leaks from? Because I've been hearing about that for a long time, but obviously there's not been anything released. Like maybe there's a hard seam. Okay, removing the colors helps me visualize this a bit better. Google and Apple forums. Oh, really? I didn't know they just had forums out there. Or are you talking about third-party websites? Besides Pinterest, Unsplash is pretty good if you want to have the ability to just use them directly in your artwork. Sorry guys, I have a bit of food here to keep me good so I don't burn out like last time. I'm liking the cloth approach for sure with this one. That looks more. I'm feeling either we do a cut open that's that big or do something really tight against her chest here. It's the same, I just had to like such a difficult, unconventional type of style for clothing. Cyberpunk. The cyberpunk aesthetic. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like this only works, of course, if that's tight. Which would change the silhouette. Hey, yeah, hit the like. Thanks, Lucas. What time is it in Brazil? Another website for pictures is, or references. Excuse me. Are you looking for photo references or art? Because I think that's what makes Pinterest so cool. It's got everything. Yeah, I think my goal here is to focus on something overly simple and just finish it. Because I think it's the problem is wanting to be perfect and do some really cool design. Just accept that the design is, you know, a work in progress and do more of these, you know. But for art, ArtStation is definitely one of the best places, I would say. It's just that I also think that what makes Pinterest stand apart is it's so low effort. You can find a lot of stuff without putting in much effort. This is like some pro knowledge. I'm just I'm just giving you more reasons to look at Pinterest. But the reason why Pinterest is so popular, so good, is that it's one of the last social media that hasn't lost its charm because of introducing monetization. Now, you may think, yeah, it sucks because of the AI stuff, but still, like, engagement is still authentic. Just because, like, you can't really nobody really comments on Pinterest. If you get comments, you don't make money. There's no sponsors for Pinterest for most people, it's just there. And so what it shows you is actually what people like. It's not showing you what just happened to be viral. You see what I mean? When you mentioned Pinterest, you just had a crisis in your brain to experiment with a new style or continue with one you really like. Hey, I face that like every day, dude. Or whoever you are. Jeez, being a content creator has gotten me so scared of offending people. I'm trying to let go of that these days. Okay, I want to put something on here that says that it's a screen, but it's not obvious or overly complex. Like a number. Let's put an angel number here. This will make somebody's day. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner. I like the detail distribution. So it's like a more solid piece that's sitting on top of the clothing. Now another thing that's tricky is finding out how does this actually look from behind. So the top of that shape is probably going to look like that, right? And so from that angle, it'll probably look like this. So that flat section, I don't think is very accurate. I think that's a lot closer. But the bottom of it is more likely going to be, since we're looking at it from this angle, I'm showing you guys how to take 2D knowledge, bring it into 3D, and then logic your way through things if you can't visualize it. So the back of that shape will have either a straight line across it or something like this. But from this angle, it might be up higher. And I think it would be thinner too. And then we would see the side of it. And I think this part of that wouldn't show, excuse me, wouldn't show so quickly. That would be a smooth transition. Let's flip the canvas. I think it would be facing more backwards like that. Yeah, definitely. And at that distance, I don't even think we need to worry about adding any more details. It's that whole concept of level of detail and all that, you know? I've been wrestling with the idea of giving her like robot arms or something. But again, like when I look at this, it's like, look at what Ilya Kushinov did. He only had to add like those little separations and he just kept it real arms, right? I don't have to do that much. I can always paint more on top of it. So let's start with something that makes more sense. I think that line would be straight instead. I'm gonna draw it like this. This would definitely, this component, if you were trying to be a concept artist, or you just wanted to get some concept work done for your game or comic, you would definitely draw this from multiple angles. Oh, wait, that might help out. I just realized, yeah, that angle would be a bit different. Well, let's... And let's simplify it even more. This is basically what... This is why people tell you to do drawbox.com first. So we're seeing the bottom of something from this angle. We're not going to see the top of it, right? Unless it's rotated, but it isn't. So I was correct there. It only looks like that's the top because of the curve of the display. So we put a cylinder on top of it, and then if we draw an arc, then we draw through here. And then now we can draw this arc. Yep, so we see the top of that, like that. So if we bring that down here. Yeah, I think that's good. So that's the shape that that would have. Chat isn't frozen, right? You guys are just all focused on your own drawings. Let me refresh. Oh, there we go. You're watching, trying to look for reference photos on Pinterest. Awesome. Sometimes in anime they do this, right? Super low mouth to emphasize their personality in that moment. I want to do something like that with the mouth. Oh, thanks, Be Creative. Well, oh, digital design. Well, I guess you do your creative work differently, right? I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine to enjoy looking at people who you don't feel like, who have a skill you don't feel like you have. Sometimes it can inspire you later on. Sometimes it can kickstart other skills. I'm looking up some rough. Whoa. The location of these is starting to look a bit sus. Let me just go over here. Is anybody watching on mobile? Only for the Chaz while you're on mobile. Oh, cool. Excuse me. Having a hard time imagining what I want with her mouth. I was thinking like, oh, I want to give her glasses so she looks like a teacher, but then in the cyberpunk universe, she's, you're not gonna need glasses, right? But it could be for style. PureRef? Yeah. That's the app on the left. Yeah, see that one feels like this feels too Adventure Time or something. I don't know what the latest cartoons are. Glasses become a fashion choice in Cyberpunk, but aren't exactly needed. Granted, it could be a storybook, yep. Or story hook, rather. Yeah, that's true. Geez, I feel like I just want to make her mouth open. I mean, closed. How am I implying so much depth in the eye without dropping lines of the brow plane? What do you mean the brow plane? Do you mean like this? Like that line, basically? Is that what you're talking about? I think it's the simplification. But I want to make sure that's what you're talking about. Or are you not? Are you talking about this? Or you get stuck on the hair, you don't know why hair is so challenging. Yeah, just you really gotta just try to limit yourself to like a few shapes. Like just say, okay, I'm gonna use 3 shapes to describe the hair. Right? And start from there. I think you just gotta be okay with sometimes this is why I think drawing stylized helps. Like before learning realism. Because if you can just learn how to make hair that's really simple look good, then you just build up from there. And disgust or annoyance. You think the open mouth looks cool, but a pouty lip, it looks nice for her lip shape. And all those actually, you use all those lines. Yeah, I do too, but I found that they got in the way of the expression. I think it's like me extending that line for the eyelash is definitely helping there. A lot of this is a bit subconscious or intuitive. It's like there's a reason, but we don't know until it's like laid out directly in front of you. Giving her, pouting her lips out, and then she's jutting her chin at the same time. And then when you do that, your mouth is usually a bit smaller. Oh, I like this. She looks cute there. All right, we'll leave that there for now. Yeah, it just feels like I'm trying to get all these different things into the expression, which is kind of muddying it. Yeah, then, yeah, that doesn't match the body expression, right? The body is like sassy, not that serious. Which makes me even want to go back. She's more like tired and annoyed, like, all right. Yeah. It's a tricky thing to get caught up in. Okay, how am I gonna color this without... I need to color pick the right lines. How do I do that? I wonder if setting this to a reference layer makes the colors pick differently. Oh, it does that. Well, what the heck? Okay, there we go. If I color pick, it just picks white. Damn. Alright, I know what I'll do. I'll just copy the colors like this, and then quickly fill them in. The sketch versus the refinement. The Islander African lip point. Is that what I've got there? Guess I've never paid attention to that directly. What part of the process are you guys more interested in seeing on stream? I'm just curious, because I still think just streaming in general is going to be my priority. If all I'm doing is doing tiny refinements, then it is what it is. I'm just gonna stick to the classic wave, because for me this is just easier of coloring, where you just go in directly and paint the outline. Color blocking. Colors and shading is fun to watch, yeah. Alright. I think I might... As much as I wanted to finish this on stream, once I color block the changes, I will color block another sketch I've been working on. That should be pretty fun, just to get the colors right. Whoa. Okay, no more reference layer. Why is there still a gap there? Whatever. I can turn this one on real quick. Oh, I don't need to do that. Jeez, that's a Netrunner suit. I'll just leave this. You like seeing the construction part, then the painting part? Gotcha. Yeah, the construction part is usually where I don't stream because it requires the most focus. but I've been getting better at not needing to be that focused. It's more of a mileage thing, like doing that a lot in a short period of time. Bruh, where is the gap? Where? There's no gap, dude. Yeah, you want it at 90% or else you get like this problem. The problem isn't showing up here for some reason. But usually there's a tiny like white edge around the lines if you don't get that threshold number really high. It's quite annoying. No shadows just yet. You guys can still hear the Genshin Impact music, right? You love the way I work. Oh, thanks, The Bone Brew. I've missed your chats. That one shift of the nose did so much. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's why I like going for stylized stuff these days instead of the realism that I've done a lot in the past, because it's just more efficient to get a similar feel and result with what I want. Like, I realize details aren't getting me what I'm really looking for. It's something else that's a bit more nuanced. You know? Oh yeah, she looks sexy here. I like this. Yeah, just a little bit more mature, right? That cheekbone is a bit higher up. That's what I've been looking for. Okay. Don't necessarily need to do this in this step. Man, I need to practice getting better at the highlights for hair of this style. But we don't have to do the details. That's for the rendering step. Okay. Ooh, what if she has like gloves instead of just the full body thing? That's nice. Okay. And so now it's gonna be easy to fix this. Is this the same thing? Okay. New. How long have we been streaming? 1 hour. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and then I'll be back. What's the military time? It's 14. I'll just make it a little bit longer. I'll come back at 3 p.m. EST or 15. And then I realized not everyone knows EST. What is this? I'll just fix it. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I have returned. Just changing my playlist real quick. I want to risk a few things with this stream actually. Let me see, because I've been wanting to listen to some Kingdom Hearts stuff, but the problem with Kingdom Hearts is it tends to be a bit more copyrighted on YouTube, even though newer games soundtracks aren't copyright protected on YouTube, or claimed rather. Everything's always copyright protected, but oh, Proco streaming too. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I gotta change the audio so you guys can hear it. There we go. Nice. Personally like having other artists like myself to chat with and co-work. Oh, awesome. Yeah, same here. It's a lot easier to co-work instead of just work, right? Are any of you guys coffee drinkers? I'm trying to get some advice, because I noticed all of a sudden, my body is just like, how do I explain it? It's more sensitive and less sensitive to coffee at the same time somehow. It's like caffeine lasts a lot longer, but at the same time, it's not nearly as intense as it used to be. So I'll be like, man, this isn't kicking in, but then all of a sudden I'll realize I can't fall asleep. If you don't drink it, you feel it, right? Wait, what? Caffeine gum. Yeah, I've been trying the pills lately just because they're the most efficient price to caffeine ratio. After coffee started being weird. I almost got the gum again, because I've tried that before. Yeah, it's daylight savings now, I think. So I think you're right. Oh, spring, summer. So it's technically -4. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll figure that out for next stream. Sometimes I like coloring like this. Makes everything so much easier. The music isn't too loud, right? I wish they didn't put that song in there. Yeah, I wonder if it's just the withdrawals that I've been noticing. Is an OC, yeah. Overwatch? Ah, yeah, I see that. Yeah, this is just because I've been, well, I was for a few weeks playing Cyberpunk 2077 again. And so it's inspired by all the different netrunners. And I've been studying Rhino Tuna and a lot, in addition to Ramon Nunez. And Rhino Tuna's like really simple approach, deceptively simple approach, has been really appealing to me. I think I want to just do the shadows on a separate layer here. Some of these lines from my old sketch are distracting. Okay. I'm not liking the selection of music from Kingdom Hearts in this soundtrack. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. What else can we... that I wanted to see? Let's do the Horizon Zero Dawn. There's a nice vibe to it. For some of these shadows, I'm not entirely sure where they should go. Usually I draw them according to where the light source can't reach, or something is completely covered by something else. And coloring on top of gray would make that a bit easier. What? Geez, that was tricky. It's like, what's the right blending mode for this? Still too light. I'm gonna do the secondary shadows. These shadows are for what, plane changes here? And gradients. of course. You need to do more studies. Same here. Hey, NPC. But, you know, we're always our worst critic. Like, I feel like I've been incredibly slow throughout this entire process, right? But there's 40 of you watching, which means that you feel like you're getting something out of this. You're learning something, right? So that's one of the benefits to making content as an artist, is that you get to have proof that gets you out of your own head. But it is something that we all struggle with, regardless of how you choose to share your artwork. Okay, the bright white, not the best for getting a good sense of the lighting or the colors. Something like this is a bit more helpful, because I think I'm still being a bit too safe, but thankfully that's why we have filters and all sorts of other things we can do. Like, for example, in ultralight here, like, I've created a set of, you know, tweaks. This is basically like Photoshop, to where I have the original and then I tested out different colors, right? And then some of these are the ones I want to go with, and then I know that I can keep coloring and then come back to this later, because I want that, like, really nice anime vibe where things are slightly blurry. It was similar to this one. But yeah. I'm trying to pull up a reference, but I keep running into super low resolution images. I think with these shadows, I have been too nitpicky with them. Because when I look at what Rhino Tuna had in his studies, he focused on paying attention to the ratio. It's like shadow versus light, and the light ratio is pretty high, to the point where it's like she's just being super brightly lit, and that's not really what I'm going for. So let's make this a lot darker. That way we don't think she's being brightly lit unintentionally. And we're going to use a bigger brush. The reference board in the frame. Oh. Whoa. Thanks for the... Oh, yeah. I changed the... I must have moved it on accident. It's funny. Thanks for the heads up. Okay. Yeah, I keep thinking like, oh, inside there is only where the shadows are going to hit her chest, but that's not really how it is. So you want to make sure the ratio is balanced to like half or 1 2/3, something like that. And typically the lower on the figure, the darker it's going to be. Let me show you guys the reference I'm looking at. I think that would be really helpful. Whoa. What the heck? Why did it take me to the web page? Oh, I see why. What do I do for a living? I guess you could just do content creator YouTuber. It's hard to explain because it's a lot of different things that I do to earn an income. Oh, that's why I'm not copying. I'll keep copying the web page. So like in English, that's what I was looking at. So like you see how much shadow there is, the ratio of that to the light. Making that ratio more appealing in and alone gives you, yeah, a lot to work with. I think that the reason it was hard for me to distinguish is because my brain interprets this as like a spotlight. But that's only because this is the first step. Yeah. Use a bigger brush as much as you can. You see the anatomy is starting to come through here. Let's see, even here in the fingers, right? It's about 1/3 is shadow, 2/3 is light. And some areas he flips that ratio. Do I earn anything from my art? Here and there. Depends. Like I've focused more on what's a bit more reliable at the moment. I earn from my art in like big spurts in my career at large and then throughout the year at the same time. I think this is why this has been a bit confusing, because if you look at something like this, right? No, this still is pretty much 1/3 shadow. Then this is still pretty much half and half, because you just count all her hair as shadow. Now this is really tricky because of her outfit. But if we just look at what's black and what isn't black, 1/3 light, 2/3 shadow, maybe a little bit less, more like 30%. Yeah, but like 10 to 90% isn't a very appealing ratio unless, I don't know. I don't think it's that striking. I need to do some research on that, because it's like, why are certain ratios more appealing than others? Like, look at this one, right? This is Ilya Kushinov's work again. There's a lot of white. It's all in the same area. You have a little bit in the shadow. It's not really shadow. It's just black. It doesn't seem like you need to be literal with it. It's a purely aesthetic choice that actually works with the physics. Like, obviously, this is the shadow. Oh, you guys can't see my mouse. But all of the hair is technically shadow. What would you say this is? It's like, I think it's 2/3 light. Here is aesthetic too, right? This is only thing that's light is her face. I would say there's maybe 20/80. I think the key is, if you're gonna have a low percentage, it needs to be grouped regardless. Like here, this image, this photograph is already pretty well done, because you have, technically what's in light is the yellow and the green, right? But you could also just say all of her skin is light, everything else, her hair, her outfit, is shadow. But artistically, I guess you'd want to have that nice big, medium, small to it. So these two shapes are too similar. You want to have something that kind of moves your eye. You want to create acceleration. Yeah, this is really complex because you can't see the split, but pretty much it's 30 to 70%, because you have the top of his jacket that's in light, and then all of this is in shadow, and then his face is in light, the top of his head is in light. Here, the front of his body is in shadow, everything else is in light. It's very similar to how this is set up. Right, and then this, all of this is pretty much light except for her hair. But then you do have some, clear indications of shadow, but they don't matter that much. This one I did earlier, the hair works as a big shadow clump that wraps around her face. And then everything else is pretty much light with some details. What's up, Koran? Yeah, so this looks much better than what I had before. And then Renos also says the detail of the shadow is when it passes through the structure. So that's when I bring out a smaller brush And so the structure changes here, so you get more detailed shadow. It could be complex, or I think I would add dramatic changes to structure. But the overall ratio should ideally be the same. Like this. That armpit is there's a lot of structural changes there. Let's see, he would do this in a way where he would paint the secondary shadows in this step on the same layer, but Photoshop allows you to select things on the same layer by value really easily. I think Procreate can do it too, it's just harder to tell. So if I grab this and do automatic, I can start from the darkest areas. Oh, gotta turn off color fill. Wait, why does it look like that? Why isn't it blue? I can't really tell what I'm selecting. Huh? Yeah, it's supposed to be blue. Why is it? That's not how it's supposed to work. Am I missing something here? Let me try this. No, it's still gray. I don't have fill color on anymore. Well, since that doesn't work, yeah, it's a bit tricky because you want to be able to paint basically 3 values.
Hey, Quivo. How you doing? Why can't I see this? This has definitely been a very work session-y stream. And then some areas just need to be blended out, because obviously they're going to be very soft. I think it's important to always give yourself time to just take a lot of time to work on an illustration, as long as you're keeping track of decisions you're making so that you can do them a lot faster in the future. Am I using the wrong color here? Yep. Okay, those are the two colors for this. It's still a bit dark. I think I'm still playing a bit too safe with those values here. Maybe what I'll do is just brighten this up a bit. Nope. Just use the curves to increase the contrast from the really dark shadows. getting my 3 values there. Nice. This is for reflected light. I hate how much the contrast is between these two. Like, it seems like it's a hard edge, but it's not. I guess that's where the reflected light later is going to come in. I think when you pay this much attention to your values, then it gets a lot easier to add them to color. I wonder if there's a way to merge this. Nope. Oh well. So these secondary shadows are describing structures that aren't big enough to describe with the darker shadow shapes. No blending with these. That's what Rhino Tuna Senpai says. It's just so barely, the difference between this and that is just so subtle. But when I change the value of this, it's changing the value of the shadows underneath it too much. Or is that just an optical illusion? Yeah, it's changing the value of the shadows underneath it. It's because I'm using blending modes instead of painting with specific colors. I think that's the problem. Because then I would be able to change this. And this value, like this one, wouldn't change color. I want that to stay that color. And then I want to brighten. Let me just draw it out. I want to brighten this without brightening that or this. But because I'm using blending modes, I'm not able to do it. This should be its own layer. Then this should be its own layer. Maybe that's on the same layer. Maybe that's a third layer. But the base and the shadow should be separate. They're already separate, but I shouldn't be using multiply. That's a trick, right? It's one of those conveniences of digital art that I think kind of hurts your understanding of painting. So I learned a lot with this stream. It's not often I learn this much on a stream. I'm usually just sharing. There is a way to fix this. Just merge everything and then select with a color threshold. But for some reason, I don't know why, when I select with a color threshold, it's not... Okay, let me try something. This is the last thing I'll try, and then I'll just end the stream and switch to Photoshop. Then I'll report back how things went. But let me see. Yeah, see, for some reason, it doesn't keep the color the same. I wish there was an outline. Like, I wish it would select everything in blue, right? It's like selecting all the whites. It's very strict versus less strict, right? But the thing is like it doesn't, it's not a linear, it's not a curve. You see, it's still not selecting anything. It's either selecting, wait a second. It's because there's nothing on that. Like, let's say I paint red right here on the same layer. Oh, I get it now. It's trying to go for the color. In Photoshop, you can select based off of value only, but that shouldn't matter. So wait, never mind. That doesn't matter. See, like, it's selecting the red, and you can tell because it's teal. But then when it starts to select the things that are in similar brightness, it doesn't show the same color, so I can't really tell what it's doing. Yeah. I guess I can submit something and Procreate to help them if they could change that. But I'm just one person. That would be a lot more helpful. Well, I will make these adjustments. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Because once we add these values to these colors, yeah, it's going to look really nice. I won't even have to, it'll be a lot easier to come up with the details. So I'm going to try to do at least one stream, another stream with this in it. I think it'll be nice to be able to have a good portion of a single project up. So this stream will be available about a few hours after this is finished. So in a couple hours or so. But yeah, guys, take care. Thanks for hanging out. If you want to get the brushes I've been using, link in the description and on the screen. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.